Hey, so what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. This video is going to be strictly about what it cost me to bring my dog or my pet back from the United States to the Philippines here in Cebu. So I'm hoping that the outcome of this video potentially saves someone or a vast majority of people from financial ruin. And so your mileage may vary, of course, but this is exactly what it cost me. Now, in my case, I came over to the Philippines to do a recon, right? I set my apartment up. There's a video that I go over what the cost to set up my apartment was. So, check that out. I can link that maybe at the end of the video, or maybe just, somewhere in the video. But I might have a controversial, statement about that, really, because, a lot of people, a lot of YouTubers will say, you got to get boots on the ground. Come over here for a month, 3 months, 6 months. I can tell you right now, I couldn't have afforded to, unless I had everything paid off like I did, like to just get up, quit my job, and come to the Philippines for 6 months and see if I actually liked it or not. In my opinion on that, not to get too far sidetracked or anything, but there's a lot of video out there that kind of show you a lot about the Philippines, right? So I don't necessarily think you need to come over to the Philippines first, per se. If your mind's made up, then just do it, right? That's probably my biggest take away from me that I learned, because I absolutely love it here. It's just the fact of, hey, if your mind's made up, do it. So let's get into this, right? So the recon airfare as a total was $2,400. So $2,400 for me to fly from Arizona to Cebu and then spend 21 days here and then fly back, right? So whenever I got back, my whole goal was I'm going to spend 10 or 12 days here in the US, and I'll be right back on a plane with my dog out of LAX headed back to Cebu. So there's some things you have to know. If you want to bring a pet to the Philippines, there's USDA requirements, right? So if you go to the consulary, or whatever it's called, website, they're going to tell you need all these vaccines, and you need a health exam certification from a USDA-accredited or USDA-certified veterinarian. Now, I'm certain that most of them are USDA certified or accredited. Unless you're getting something on Craigslist or something like that, which I wouldn't recommend. So that process, and we'll talk about that process real quick, that's a 28 to 30 day process. And the reason why is because of the leptospirosis vaccination your dog or your cat or whatever has to have. And so you get the shots, the whole battery, the rabies, the whatever, all that stuff, depending on if they're current or not. So the Lepto happens 14 days later, the booster happens, so now you're looking at 28 days. Now, in order to get on a plane and get your dog accepted in the Philippines by the import people, your dog or your cat or whatever has to be touched, and the exam has to be done within 10 days of the pet arriving in the Philippines. Okay, so if it goes to day 11 or 12 because you're going out to LAX and you can't find a slot in the live cargo bay for your animal, and it falls out of that 10-day window, you're not going to arrive within those 10 days. Your pet has to go back for another examination, just to, it's kind of like just put hands on, make sure everything's good to go. And in many cases, probably the vet's not going to charge you for that if you're going to the same vet. But I want you to think about that. It's a 30-day process, okay? In which case, I didn't know this right away. I found out when I had already gone back to the U.S. and then started working to have my dog, fulfill all the paperwork and importation requirements. And so there's a battery of vaccines that your pet needs to have. There's a 30-day wait on that. And then you have 10 days to get your dog from the time of that USDA Health Exam certification to get that pet into the Philippines. Okay, so I just wanted to kind of hit on that for anybody that didn't know. It's not going to go quickly. And so in this case, and we'll get to a total of about what it cost me, because it was pretty shocking, to be honest with you. Now, I also went back to sell my truck, but while I was back there, hotel fees for the 31 or 32 days that I was back in country was $3,900. So right there, the airfare plus the $3,900 just for hotels, you're looking at $6,300. I mean, in some cases, people might be going to the Philippines thinking, oh yeah, I can do the round trip ticket, and then I'll get my dog back in country. I've got $15,000, and oh, now we're at $6,300. It can get a little dicey here, right? Especially if you're no longer working and you're relying on a pension or just your savings or whatever. So car rental fees now, I used an app called Turo. And if you're not familiar with that, I'm not endorsed by them or anything like that, but it actually saved me quite a bit of money because I was able to rent a small compact car for $25 a day. And I had it, for a total, I think it was like $700 or $750. I put $700 here, I think it was like closer to $750, but $700. Now the return airfare, that brought me back to Manila, okay, and I hung out in Manila for 3 days or so. That was $1,100. Now when you buy a ticket into the Philippines, you can't have your final destination can't be the Philippines. It has to be somewhere else, unless you're on a visa already. And so I chose Vietnam just because it was the cheapest. Vietnam or Thailand, you'd be fine with that. But then the flight from Manila down to Cebu, I got it on a Sunday, was 14,000 pesos. Comes out to about $250 right now. That was $1,350 total for the return airfare and then the trip back down from Manila to Cebu and Mactan Airport. Now, vet fees for me ended up being right at about $600. I think it was like $589 or something like that. So I just rounded to $600. And then the pet shipping fee. So I decided not to rent a car, go to LAX, do the whole ordeal like that, potentially have to wait or be in a hotel for 2 or 3 more days. I found this gentleman, his name's Peter, and I'll put his contact information in. His email is CobraKaiExotics. He was half the price of anybody else and knew all the requirements inside and out. Actually has family here in the Philippines. He lives in LA. Incredible service. Absolutely incredible service. But that cost me $3,750. Now, you might think, oh my gosh, like that's a crazy amount of money to ship your pet. Well, he's going to have Rowdy for about 21 days, 3 weeks. If I would have stayed in a hotel that was costing me $100 with my dog, it's $2,100. So in reality, I got to come back to the Philippines, stop just bleeding money like crazy, whether it was fuel, food, rental cars, more hotel fees, etc. Right? It saved me quite a bit of money whenever I look at it, and the value add at the difference of $1,650 is astronomical. And so it was really an amazing find, and so kind of lucked out there. God's always looking out for us, right? But like even if you look at miscellaneous things like getting a crate, right? Like I think my crate was $250. Well, all in all, if you add all this stuff up, it comes out to about $13,000. Now, $13,000 maybe that's not very much money to some viewers, right? But in some cases, it could lead to somebody that had a plan. They've got $11,000 or $12,000 startup money. They're going back with good intentions to get their pet, and now they're in financial ruin, or they face having to give up the pet that they love to a good home or rehoming, and nobody wants to do that, right? And so that's the whole goal of this particular video. I hope it actually helps someone out there. If you're going through this, or you know somebody that potentially might be going through it in the near future, have them watch this video. If you have any comments or questions, leave them in the comment section. I will answer those as they come in. And yeah, man, thanks for stopping by. I hope this video helps everybody out. There'll be some more videos coming. I know there's been quite a delay here since the last time I was in Sikihor, maybe doing some of the videos out there or YouTube shorts, but we're going to have some more content coming up. We're in the rainy season right now, so we'll see how well it holds up. But yeah, thanks for stopping by, guys, and we'll see you in the next one. Later.